Did you know that the average person spends 47% of their waking hours lost in thought? That's nearly half of your day, and most of those thoughts are not about the present moment, but worries, doubts, and what-ifs. Overthinking is a silent creativity killer, and it's affecting more people than ever before. In fact, studies show that overthinking increases stress, lowers productivity, and even shrinks your brain's ability to generate new ideas. Shocking, right? But here's the thing. You don't have to stay stuck in that cycle. In this video, we'll explore how overthinking holds you back from being creative and, more importantly, how to stop it. We'll dive into simple yet powerful strategies to clear mental clutter, break free from perfectionism, and turn your inner critic into an ally. Imagine being able to tap into your creativity without that nagging voice telling you you're not good enough. Stick with us, and by the end, you'll know exactly how to defeat overthinking and unlock your true creative potential. Chapter 1. The Overthinking Trap. How your mind becomes its own obstacle. We've all been there. Caught in the loop of endless thinking, where you can't stop questioning your ideas, second-guessing decisions, and worrying about every little detail. But did you know that overthinking actually blocks your creativity? Research shows that when we overanalyze, our brain enters a cognitive overload state, making it harder to come up with new ideas. Instead of problem-solving, overthinking prevents your mind from freely generating creative thoughts. Overthinking might seem helpful, but in reality, it's just an obstacle. Your brain gets stuck in repetitive patterns, circling back to the same thoughts over and over without going anywhere new. You're not solving the problem, you're just exhausting yourself. According to a study by the American Psychological Association, overthinking can even lead to stress and anxiety, further hindering creativity. So, what can you do to break the cycle? One strategy is to practice mindfulness. When you focus on the present moment, you give your brain a break from the constant stream of thoughts. Studies show that mindfulness techniques, such as deep breathing or focusing on a single task, can significantly reduce mental chatter and allow space for creative thinking. By quieting your mind, you create room for fresh ideas to come in. Another tactic is simply to take a break and do something else. Often, stepping away from the problem for a short period gives you the mental clarity you need to approach the challenge with a new perspective. Chapter 2. The perfection paralysis phenomenon. Chasing ideal ideas and missing opportunities. Overthinking often leads to perfection paralysis, the overwhelming need to make everything flawless before moving forward. When you're focused on creating the perfect solution or idea, you can waste precious time and energy getting stuck in the weeds. As author Elizabeth Gilbert explains in Big Magic, perfectionism is just fear in fancy shoes and a mink coat. The truth is, perfection doesn't exist in creativity. It's a moving target that shifts with each new idea or project. If you're waiting for the perfect moment to launch your idea or share your work, you're likely holding yourself back. A famous study by Dr. Carol Dweck on the growth mindset shows that those who embrace failure as part of the learning process are far more likely to succeed in creative endeavors. The best way to avoid perfection paralysis is to allow yourself to make mistakes and learn from them. Creativity thrives in a space where mistakes are seen as growth opportunities, not setbacks. One strategy to beat perfection paralysis is to set deadlines for yourself. This might sound counterintuitive, but having a concrete timeframe forces you to stop overthinking and take action. Time limits help you focus on progress, not perfection. Another idea is to take small steps. Instead of trying to create the perfect final product right away, focus on completing small, manageable parts of your project. You'll find that over time, these pieces will come together more naturally. Chapter 3. Turning your inner critic into a creative ally. How to use self-doubt constructively. We all have that inner voice telling us our ideas aren't good enough, or that we're not creative enough. While this inner critic can feel like an enemy, it doesn't always have to be. In fact, research by Dr. Ethan Kross, a psychologist at the University of Michigan, reveals that self-talk, even negative self-talk, can actually improve performance if we learn how to reframe it. The key is to use your doubts constructively, instead of letting them sabotage your creative flow. Instead of trying to silence that critical voice, try to engage with it. Ask yourself, what exactly am I afraid of? What do I think is the worst that could happen? This approach allows you to take control of your fears and turn them into actionable insights. For instance, if you're worried your project won't be good enough, break it down into smaller, less intimidating tasks. You'll find that by acknowledging the critic and answering it, you can move past it faster. A great way to work with your inner critic is to embrace productive procrastination. This strategy, outlined by author Tim Urban in his book Wait But Why, is about acknowledging that some fear and hesitation is natural. Instead of forcing yourself into action when you're not ready, use that time to gather more ideas, research, or improve your project in a way that feels comfortable. It's about working through doubt without allowing it to take control. By reframing how you engage with your self-doubt, you can make it a tool for growth rather than a barrier. Use that voice to propel you forward, ask better questions, and find ways to improve your ideas. The key is not to let overthinking spiral out of control but to use it strategically to push your creativity further. As the famous artist Pablo Picasso once said, "It took me 4 years to paint like Raphael, but a lifetime to paint like a child." Creativity, after all, thrives when we allow ourselves the freedom to experiment, fail, and grow. If you're finding these tips helpful, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on the next chapter where we dive even deeper into how to overcome creativity blocks. Chapter 4. The Power of Mental Clutter. How decluttering sparks inspiration. Have you ever tried to brainstorm a new idea but felt overwhelmed by the clutter in your mind? Maybe you've got work, personal worries, or a million things to do all competing for attention. This mental chaos can block creativity. Studies show that mental clutter can reduce focus and creativity, making it harder to connect with fresh ideas. Just like a messy desk can distract you from your work, a cluttered mind can slow down your creative flow. One of the best ways to clear this clutter is through mindfulness. A study from the University of California found that mindfulness exercises, like deep breathing or meditation, can actually improve cognitive flexibility, the ability to shift thinking and come up with new ideas. So, next time you're stuck, try taking a few minutes to simply focus on your breath. It's an easy and effective way to let your mind reset. Another strategy is journaling. Writing down your thoughts can help you untangle the mess in your mind. In fact, studies show that journaling can help reduce stress and increase clarity, freeing up mental space for creative ideas. You don't have to write anything perfect or polished. The goal is just to release whatever's in your mind onto paper. This can often create a sense of order and leave room for your creativity to flow. Finally, taking regular breaks from work can help reduce mental clutter. Research from the University of Illinois suggests that working in short bursts and taking breaks can actually increase productivity and creativity. When you step away from a task, your brain gets a chance to process and refresh. It's a simple but powerful strategy to clear your head and find fresh perspectives. Chapter 5. Playfulness over perfection. The unexpected link between fun and creativity. We often hear that creativity is about hard work, focus, and dedication. But did you know that fun and play are just as crucial? In fact, playfulness can be a powerful tool to unlock creativity. When we allow ourselves to be playful, we engage in less structured, more free-flowing thinking. This approach leads to greater flexibility in our thinking and encourages unexpected connections, the heart of creativity. The idea that play enhances creativity is supported by research from the University of California. They found that play is linked to the release of dopamine, a chemical that boosts motivation and enhances creative thinking. In other words, when you're having fun, your brain is more likely to make new connections and come up with innovative ideas. One way to tap into this is to embrace creative exercises that involve no pressure or expectations. Try doing something entirely different from your usual routine. Sketch, dance, or even engage in a hobby you haven't tried before. Doing something without a clear goal allows your mind to wander and explore, which often sparks new ideas. Another strategy is to give yourself permission to fail. Many creative breakthroughs come from the willingness to experiment and make mistakes. Author Seth Godin talks about this in his book The Practice, where he explains that shipping, or completing a project, is more important than perfection. He suggests that creativity thrives when we're willing to take risks and embrace the messiness of the creative process. The key here is to enjoy the process. When you stop focusing on the outcome and just let yourself play, you open the door to surprising, unexpected creativity. Chapter 6. Surrendering Control. How letting go of overthinking unlocks new possibilities. Sometimes, the hardest thing you can do for your creativity is to let go of control. Overthinking often comes from a desire to control every aspect of a project. But true creativity happens when we release that need for control and allow ideas to evolve naturally. In The War of Art, author Stephen Pressfield argues that resistance, the urge to overthink and control, is the biggest enemy of creativity. By letting go, we make space for fresh ideas to emerge. One powerful way to let go of control is to embrace spontaneity. When you stop overthinking every decision, you give yourself permission to act without hesitation. Studies have shown that spontaneous decisions often lead to more original ideas. When you're not obsessing over every detail, your brain has the freedom to come up with new connections and possibilities. Another strategy is to practice trusting the process. Author Julia Cameron, in her book The Artist's Way, suggests that creativity is a journey, not a destination. Instead of stressing over the final outcome, trust that the process will lead you somewhere valuable. By surrendering to the flow, you often end up with something better than you could have planned. It's also important to recognize that creativity thrives in uncertainty. Research from the University of Amsterdam reveals that people who embrace uncertainty are more likely to be creative. When you let go of the need to predict every step, you open yourself up to new and exciting opportunities. Instead of controlling everything, let the process unfold naturally, and you'll discover unexpected paths to creativity. Sometimes, surrendering control is as simple as stepping back, giving yourself permission to make mistakes, and allowing your ideas to take shape on their own. When you stop forcing creativity, you create the space for something new and unexpected to emerge. If you've found these strategies helpful, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. That way, you'll never miss out on future content that can help you unlock your creative potential.